August meeting of the Code Enforcement Committee. And the first item is approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, number 3, review of property tax application, take any action as necessary. Do we have Sarah Puss for public participation? Does anybody from the public want to speak before we get started, or do you want to wait until we get going?
Well, that's up to you. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, you know, usually we've kept it open if you wanted to interject during if you have something specific you want to say it now, you can do it, or if you want to interject anything as we go along, then you're fine too.
Yeah, may as well take care of the new business, the
Okay.
regular stuff first.
Yeah, do you want to, are you going to speak, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do it now, or you want me to get going?
No, you can
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Review of the property tax freeze application for 120 Teryville Road. Tom's not here. We got an application for 120 Teryville Road. Got for freeze. Oh yeah, that's right. Reynolds Trailers. That's right. I forgot what 120 Teryville Road was. He went through building department taking out permits, and I was there for most of the cleanup. He's changed the property. We had numerous code enforcement issues there through the years because it was a sand and gravel excavation site. So I'm for approving this. And does anybody have any questions about it? No? Can I have a motion to accept the application, please?
Make a motion to accept this application.
Have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 4, discussion of team inspections to take any action as necessary. 97 South Street and 112 Gridley Street. 97 South Street was a porch. I just want to let everybody know about it. I went out and took photos, and referral from the fire department. You can pass these around just so you can see. If you get this kind of item, you're out on inspection for something, and you think that something's unsafe, just let us know about it, and we'll go out and take a look, and then we'll issue an order if necessary.
And this one, an issue, order was issued from?
Yeah, yep.
For the
We left
porches.
yep, a warning notice. We have to contact, actually talk to the guy. He owns another property that we're working on, too. On Lincoln, the same owner, 25 Lincoln.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So he eventually does it. It just takes a lot of prodding. Okay. 112 Gridley Street, Tom, is that the one you're doing, or is that?
Yes, yeah. We received quite a few complaints from the residents on Division as well as Gridley about the activity going on at 112 Gridley as well as the condition of the property. So we went out there, we did an inspection, a lot of unregistered motor vehicles. Monica's also handling that portion. A lot of debris in the yard, a lot of activity with quads, and just construction equipment. So we sent a letter to the owner as well as the residents, and we're going to be doing a cleanup there tomorrow. We're going to meet the police department out there, a contractor, and we're going to clean that property up. And I think we received complaints from the mayor's office as well. So this will be a good one to get cleaned up this week. We've gone through the 10-day process, and we went out there on Monday and told them we're giving you 3 more days, and this is basically everything's getting cleaned up on Thursday.
And I talked to Dick last night about it briefly, and this is another one that it's already been, precedent's been set for ticketing the tenants.
Okay.
TJ had done it prior, so Dick knows how to handle that.
Okay.
And if we have to tow stuff out, we've done that before too. So.
Yeah. One of the issues was with the first floor tenant, and Rich and I just talked about it. The owner doesn't even know who the person is that moved in. He kind of squatted and moved into the property. That's a whole separate issue. So with the police department there tomorrow, we're going to ask for IDs, and so we can get, you know, specifically who these people are, and then we can in turn somehow get payment from them. So we'll have to work on that issue.
Well, the owner or the city could have the cars towed, no?
Well, the owner's willing to, he doesn't want the cars there, but someone's going to have to pay the bill, and we've got to figure out who to send it back to. So there's 3 unregistered, there's 2 trucks, large trucks, and an unregistered car that has a bunch of junk in it.
And typically what happens when we have something towed, it'll get towed to a garage, say Bristol Auto for an example, towed to the garage, and then someone will show up and say, I want my car back. Well, then they'll get hit with a bill from Bristol Auto, and they'll say, well, here's the towing and here's the daily storage. And if they don't pay it, they don't get their vehicle back. And I think there's state laws about that.
Yeah.
So that's one way of getting around, you know, police officer trying to get a license if there's nobody there. And,
Well, they're expecting us tomorrow, so it depends.
This is a 2-family, right?
2-family, yes. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Is there any new properties that anybody wants to add to that list? All right, number 5, discussion of properties of interest in our concern committee members. We put a few on here to update everybody what's going on. 376 South Street, kind of all worked on it in their own way. Anne Marie did a lot of work with the owner. She didn't have to relocate, but there was an illegal basement apartment. The owner keeps sending me emails about the things that he's doing. And so I have a pretty good record of you know, what's going on there in his emails. If you read between the lines, you can see that he's admitting to, you know, having created the extra apartments and stuff. But in the last paragraph of this last email, it was supposed to be a 3, and he converted to a legal 5. That he's gonna it's gonna be a 3-family again. So I just have to get together with everybody when we have a time to go out there together and take a look at it. And not this week, beginning of next week, maybe.
Next week works.
Yeah. All right, and we'll, Michelle, we get maybe in the beginning of the week, Monday or Tuesday, we'll take a look at it. But that's basically just an update. It's actually moved along pretty well. I didn't have to, I did a condemnation warning, and then he took action right away. And relocated the basement tenant, and the other units he's taking care of. Oh, Tom, you are here. Were you here?
I just walked in.
Oh.
Sorry for being late.
That's all right. No, 120, I said you weren't here.
Oh.
We did the tax freeze for 120.
Okay, it's all set?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next one, 44 Tallion's been hanging around for a long time. This is the one that I condemned on Christmas Eve. There's a new owner, and I was just wondering if anybody had any correspondence from him, Angel Jacques. Does that name ring a bell? Says his address is 105 Maple Avenue, West Hartford. But
I think he also took, what was the one off Stafford Avenue? I think the same owner, thought they're all trying to be.
Blair Drive?
Blair Drive.
Blair Drive.
I
Did
think
you
he
buy
took
that
title
one?
to that one too.
75 Blair, right?
Well, they gotta be connected.
We haven't gotten any building permits or anything, and the neighbors have called to say that there's people going in there, and when I went over there, Tom and I went, they were just cleaning it out.
Was it bank?
He said he was from the bank,
Yeah.
but this name came up on the tax record. So I'm going to send him a letter and tell him he's got to restore it or demolish it, and see if we get any response from him. But I just want to know if anybody had any, correspondence from anybody for that? No?
Like Michelle being
Yeah.
changing ownership.
All right. Lot 181 Fair Street, that's Monica, are you doing that one?
Yeah, that's me. They cleaned up 90% of the property. There were just like 80 unregistered cars, trucks, carnival equipment, just construction equipment. It was everything out there. But he's cleaned up 90%, and I'm still on him about cleaning up the rest. So there's maybe about 15 cars, 5 trucks, little, construction equipment. It's not as bad as it was.
Yeah.
So I'm still on him to finish cleaning up the property. And he does have some fines to pay. And hopefully I can get it all cleaned up.
Right. And Dick and I talked last night about stuff you have out there now. Don't let up on it. If you had to go as far as write somebody a ticket, they didn't comply and you had to write them a ticket, then don't, even if they comply, they got to pay the ticket.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Who's the owner of it?
It's
Mike
an
Ranger,
It's an
but it's the
estate.
estate of his
His
dad.
father's estate.
Right. So there's
And it's a substantial estate. Very substantial.
So it's not a business? It's all personal ownership?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going after the owner, and that's who's on file.
What we'll do is, if it isn't cleaned up by October 1st, we'll send a personal property declaration for the unregistered vehicles and add an assessment layer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the carnival.
Is there any, number 6, any new business by committee members? For your committee member?
Yeah.
Do you have new business?
Two, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we went out to the 416 South Street yesterday. We had a couple of,
Oh, let me guess, Tim gave it to you?
yeah, Tim gave it to us. There were a couple of fabric sheds set up over there, and he had workout equipment and TVs and exercise equipment. And he had extension cords going to these 2 buildings, so they must be using them at night for extra space. It's a 3-family. They had gas grills underneath there, so we wrote him a notice. He had to take down the electrical within 24 hours and remove the gas grills off the porches, maybe 10 feet, correct? 10 feet away from the building. So, and we gave him 10 days on removing the fabric sheds, and Monica was going to send him something because that's his own
Oh,
issue.
yeah, he gave it to me.
Yeah.
I'll just-
So, we'll follow up with that in 10 days. 23 Upson, they're in the process of
What was that?
rebuilding those porches. Remember we had the guy for a while? Right over by the old girls' club.
Are they doing the porches?
Yes, yep, so we're doing inspections, it's coming along. You guys are aware of it.
Yeah, I took pictures on
Okay.
Monday. He had his crew out there.
Yeah.
Well, a crew out there.
Yeah. One interpreter.
Yeah.
41 Marjorie, we're doing the cleanup over there off of Pine Street. 33 Christopher, Guy and I went out there, he has an illegal pool, so we had to take the pool down, or pull a permit for the pool. And then Farrell Avenue, there's a motor vehicle on the side of the road there. We're having the police department red tag it and remove.
Did we do that?
I spoke to Todd Kazarian, he said he was going to handle it. And that's...
There was 2 there, wasn't there?
There's 2, yeah, there's a camper and a van. They've been there a long time, we've been trying to get them out of there. But yeah, broken windows. We couldn't...
Well, we told them to get rid of them and they moved them from their yard over the road across the street.
Yeah. So...
That was a couple of years ago.
So the police department's going to red tag them. That's all I got.
Thanks. Anybody else? Yeah.
I'd say about once a week, Guy, we get a request to have a ticket abated. In fact, Karen and I had one yesterday. And essentially, these are situations where the citation is issued, there's a default, maybe there's a cleanup, maybe there isn't. Usually there's a cleanup and people say, oh, gee, I don't want to pay this $400. And I'm just wondering if we should adopt a policy or handle it one by one. I mean, my job would be easy if you just adopted a policy. You do not abate tickets after defaults. But on the other hand, there might be...
I vote for that.
Okay. So I'm
Because
just throwing it out to the committee.
The inspector has so many things to do, and that if they've got to write a letter after doing an inspection, we leave a warning notice out, usually, which makes it easy for us the first time. And then, if we have to write a letter, and then we have to wait for them to respond, and then they don't respond, 38 Prospect's a good example. Dave, I think you've been out there with your crew. The police have told them to clean up. We've gone there, and when we went there to inspect, all these people came out of the woodwork asking us who we were from the building. We said, are you the owner? Do you know the owner? Went through all this stuff. Then we finally cleaned it up. Now I get calls from the owner saying we didn't get noticed. No one told us. Well, really?
Really?
So, no, I vote for, if it gets to the point where they have to be issued a citation, then they should pay it.
Well,
Maybe they won't do it again.
if the violation existed at the time that the ticket was issued, then it existed. He did not fix it in the time that the order came
I'm not
out.
arguing. I'm not arguing.
Appeal it either. And there is an appeal process, and it's clearly written on the ticket.
Right,
So
and
all
then,
these
for
people
example,
have
we
an
had,
opportunity to appeal it.
Yeah.
is it Fair Street?
Yeah.
That gentleman, Monica wrote the citation. I guess she said they made efforts to clean it up. They're not quite
They
there.
have, but I had to start issuing citations prior to them
To
cleaning
get
it
them
up.
to clean up, and then he's in, well,
He came in, he knew about the appeal process to appeal the order before the citation started.
Mhm.
Because I spoke to him about that. He was going to appeal it. We were waiting for an appeal to come in.
Right.
He never did it.
Mhm.
Monica
Right.
started issuing tickets. So.
And then we had one with Karen this week, and we had one about the horses too, the week
Right.
before.
And that guy, God, that went on for almost a year.
And we don't issue citations unless they have not complied with the notices.
Exactly.
Plural. Yes, so it's not like we are just picking on them and we're just issuing citations because their property is cleaned up. Their property is not in compliance.
Do you need an official policy, or do you want to?
Well, you can just tell me, or you can make a motion. I don't.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that the official policy of the Code Enforcement Committee is not to waive any citation fees after the appeal period has been expended and there's been no action by the violator.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
No.
Or no, or I could just say no.
I think you'll get a call from another ticket I issued on Gridley Street too.
Okay.
Who's the owner?
Roy?
I have one more question.
Okay.
No, something Roy.
We're in the I wrote a ticket a couple weeks ago and we sent it certified, and she didn't take, the one on Drome Avenue, she didn't take receipt of it, so it came back to our office. So what's the next step? Does it get certified a marshal? I mean, how are we handling that?
How did it come back?
Came
Did it
back-
come back, no such, or did it come back?
Refused, right? It was refused.
Well, if it came back refused and you sent it regular mail as well, I think you're in good
Well,
shape.
it's a ticket, so it's just one ticket, so I can't send it regular mail and certified.
Did you post it?
I did not post it, we just sent it certified. So that's probably, you know,
Let me come and look
All right.
at the file.
Yeah. I mean, it's more of a...
Okay. But generally, if you try and it's a good address and they refuse it or don't pick it up, I mean, certainly over GA17 they take that as notice. So.
Okay. So we'll collect our money. It's probably since probably in the third week now, I believe. Second week? Yeah.
Drop it off the table and see it too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
let me
come.
know what you do, because I'm curious, because that angers me, because they know that tickets are coming,
I told her,
and
she
then
was
they
getting a
don't
ticket.
refuse, they
you know.
refuse their certified mail.
What I do
That angers
is...
me.
That angers
Oh,
You don't want this to be angry.
No.
You talked to the person though?
I told her, yeah. I mean,
Oh, well.
she's had months of
Then
notice to get rid of this vehicle.
Oh,
in
then
her
that's
car.
actual, no, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to say, I send my notices or the citations out, certified and regular mail. 9 times out of 10, I never get the regular mail back.
But it's a ticket, so how do you do that?
I know, there's only one
Yeah.
ticket. I can't send it. I can't.
Just
I just make a copy.
Oh, send her a copy? Okay, I can do that.
And then,
Yeah.
Michelle and I were talking yesterday, I mean, if you've got somebody who knows going to be a tough customer, you can get a receipt for mailing too, which helps me if I go to court. And that's free for regular mail. You have to go across, down to the post office.
Okay.
We'll get Michelle out of the house.
Suggestion, why don't you do the certified mail, the original ticket, and then the copy to the regular mail, and on the copy, put original sent via certified mail. So if they refuse it, they still got the notice.
Right.
There you go.
We have some-
And make a copy, post one to the house, take a picture. I mean, how much you got?
So that's a good reason that they gotta pay it after all that, too.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
it doubles and then triples, and you know, a $106 ticket turns into, you know, $318 in 3 weeks, so it's
Doubles, triples.
Sorry about
Dave, you had something?
Yeah, because I have you and Attorney Lacey and Tom in the same room. Could you advise me how to proceed with the tax freeze assessment on 110 Prospect?
Well, that's what I was wondering, did the sewer department give you a release or anything?
Sewer department signed off.
Because you need the CO. I'm waiting for that to issue the CO. We can do that right after the meeting.
So if I get this, okay, just for the after the meeting? Okay.
Yeah, did they give you a paper or anything?
I wasn't the contractor, I wasn't on site, but they did sign off, maybe we can contact
Maybe
them.
we can call over the sewer department.
Okay.
It's all set. That's all we're waiting for. Then I issue the CO, and then we do the tax freeze abatement, because you did
Okay.
improve the property, but you need the CO in order to get the tax freeze.
Okay, and then one other one,
And we don't have to vote on it again. We already voted on it. So
Oh.
we're just waiting for the CO.
oh, great, okay. The other one is, a while back, Tom had sent you pictures or an application
Judd
on
Street?
106 Judd. I was wondering if you could review that one and, you know, confirm or if it qualifies.
Yeah, I did already. I sent
You
him
did?
one.
Okay.
Yeah, he said
Okay,
that would be a
great.
good one, because we had to clean it up several times,
Okay,
and it was left lighted,
okay, it's coming along.
so.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, okay. Anybody else? Tom, if you want?
Yeah, 255 Main Street. They have their dumpster back out on the sidewalk. I had brought this up at a meeting some time ago, and it got taken care of at least once, maybe twice, but it got put back out there a couple weeks ago. It was actually not long after the sidewalks were redone. The BDA spent a good amount of grant money redoing the sidewalks there, and I'm hoping maybe you can figure out some way to get it off the sidewalk and kind of make sure it doesn't
We keep
go back
going
on.
back there for this, and there's always trash all over the ground, and 11 Summer Street is the same way.
I think I sent them letters on the dumpster before, and that's why they moved it.
11.
What about blocking the sidewalk?
Isn't that obstructing the sidewalk? Isn't there an ordinance on that?
I don't know.
I think there is. My vast memory of ordinances.
Right now, it's not totally obstructing the sidewalk, but
If it's on it at
it
all.
shouldn't be on it at all, I don't
And then
think.
We've talked to him. I wonder if a ticket for this guy would be,
That, both those properties, I believe, were given tax freezes.
they were, yep. And can we, if they're violating any codes, we can take that tax-free away. Yeah, it's in there, isn't it?
Yep. You can revoke it.
I think 11 complied though, they moved their dumpster.
Yeah.
Because John was working with them, right? Was it
The 255, he's out of state,
Yeah.
so he probably doesn't even know about it.
I know,
It could be
but
like
it's gotta have a property.
Yeah, the store owner might just be like, put it here.
It's his name, Mike something, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if I have his phone number. Still, because when he was doing it, he was calling me.
I think we have it.
Yeah. Well, we can't keep going back there.
Is that the one with the deli on the corner?
Yeah.
I have it in the assessment freeze file. I have his email and his
Oh,
phone
you do?
number. Yeah.
I got Mike 255 Main Street, so it must be him. All right, nobody's volunteering to write him a letter. I'm waiting. That's why there's this awkward silence.
I like the violation of the tax
That's
rate.
tax free.
If you want, I can send him an email. I could copy you on it.
Yeah, I want to get it in writing that this is it. We're not going to go out there again. And
Sure, I'll write him an email.
you will, Tom?
Yep.
Thank you. You're a gentleman.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have you copied on it?
Yeah, sure.
What's your email address?
I think Tom had a couple more.
Any more, Tom?
Well, do you have any updates on any of the other properties around the library? I know that the house next door got bought, and I've seen a guy doing some nice yard work out front. I don't know if anybody knows.
He's been non-committal about the use, the final use. Right now, it's, what was it, he's just doing what was there, apartment on the second floor and office on the first or something.
Yeah, it's a mixed business residence, single residence,
So
so.
we gave him a permit to
To
rent
demo,
it.
right?
Yeah, and,
And he has come in and discussed my office about the fire alarm system that's in place there and the sprinkler system. So it's going to retain all that stuff, all the fire protection equipment. He's just not sure exactly how he's going to use the building at this point.
What is the one right next to the library that was owned by the state for many years as a
yeah,
group home?
yeah,
What?
That needed to get
Yeah, I think it's 25 High Street, is it
Yeah.
25?
Yes.
25.
What's it zoned as? Is it It was a group home.
I think I have it here.
So, and I'm not sure of the zoning, but I'm thinking because the business was next door, it was business and residential also, so I'm thinking that's going to be zoned the same way, so I don't know for sure, but.
It's an R15 BT.
It's a residential business.
Well, I mean, I hope, we get another nice property owner in
Yeah.
the neighborhood.
I hope so too. 22 across the street. He sent us an email, the owner said he was ready for a CO. And one of our inspectors, Don, has been going out there regularly and said it was coming along, but I don't think they're anywhere near a CO. That issue with the retaining wall hasn't been resolved. And there's still plywood and windows, so unless that building's perfect, they're not getting a CO. He did work on the next few that we took permits out for, code enforcement, if you will, on a porch on 36, and then re-sided. Karen had issued an order for, what was that, 30, to be repainted, and he ended up siding it. So it's coming along very slowly, but they are coming along. We haven't gotten any permit in yet for that, or application for that lot where the house burnt down yet. There's been a couple inquiries, but no hard permits yet.
Well, the library was in the process of getting a contract to use it for parking, but they met a couple of times last month, but decided not to go forward because there's an easement to service the house next door. So they really couldn't get that many spaces, so It was almost a deal.
Oh, okay. And if something like that happens, there should be a way to get it to news to the neighborhood, but that's all I know. I don't know any more about that area.
Okay, well, thanks.
Are they working on 122, 116 High Street?
Yes. An update on that?
Because I've noticed cars and trucks and windows open. They're rebuilding the back wall, John Duca, and he's doing a good job. We've been there looking at it a few times. Do you go look at it? We'll have to take him right over there. I'll show you. And then he says there's plans to reside it, and they have permits to restore the inside. They're reducing the number of apartments. You were there in Friday?
Friday or Thursday.
Okay.
Porches are done, basically. He poured a sidewalk, which I guess wasn't, they talked him into, underneath the deck.
Oh.
They were ripping apart. They're going from 12 to 6. At least that was the plan at Charlie Nyberg.
Yeah.
And then he's supposed to reside the whole thing. God bless him. The porches are rear porches for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. 110 High Street. I got an update, and it reminded me because we're thinking of 116. Bob Roden had several orders issued by us to clean up. Well, one of the tenants has been evicted, the one that had a lot of the issues. We had to have the yard cleaned up again. He ended up doing most of it. So we had a contractor who started, and then he said he'd get something. So I don't know if he's ever going to be perfect there, but we need a complaint. If there's a complaint, Tom, if you see something, just let us know. It's just hard to see everything all the time, because it's like continual. It's like you have one thing cleaned up, and then a week will go by, you think it's all set, and then they'll dump trash. Or when we went to 110, there was trash all over the yard. Tenants had filled their barrels and then decided just to take their garbage bags and leave them out in the yard. So that was one of the items. But we don't know about it until we hear about it.
Roden's buddy there, Eduardo,
Yeah.
came into the office and said he is no longer associated with
Right. We got letters to that
that
effect.
Bob Roden. So I said, look, did you get a letter? Because I told him to drop you guys off a letter.
Yeah.
I said, I wanted a letter saying that you have no longer any contact with him. Therefore, Roden's on his own again, because at least with Eduardo halfway steering the car, something was getting done, but you can't expect anything.
No.
Eduardo put a line, said he's into him for $25,000 and he's not getting any of it, so he's out.
Right.
I predicted that one. I don't know if you remember, I made an offer on
Right.
Bob's portfolio, and Eduardo had a very different and competing offer, and I was really surprised that he thought that could work. So if Bob, when Bob's on his own, if he happens to get in trouble with you guys, if you want to remind him that he wants that an offer on the table for me, I'd go back there.
We remind him every time we see him, Dave. Doesn't take so just that's what I'm saying. If there's a complaint, let us know. We'll go back. Anything else?
I got a list.
Of course you do.
Update. 43 Jan Road.
Oh yeah.
We gave her 10,000. Got the deck done. The roof that got damaged from the tree. Some rotted wood. And the door.
That's done.
That's done as far as we
Got
can
the
go.
CO and everything.
Oh, good.
And the house does need some more work, but
That one on Stafford.
yeah, he's okay by the state historic to paint, fix the rotten out porch. So he should be starting that soon.
That's Larry, right?
Yep,
What number was that?
154.
154. So just if the neighbors call and complain. That's what we just got. And does he have contractors, you think?
Yeah, he's got for the porch and for the painting.
Okay.
29 Party was a porch issue, I think through fire. She was getting her quotes for that stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. 11 Williams was the
Yeah, that
metal.
one too.
Yeah, that one, she's working on quotes.
Last time I talked to her, said she couldn't get the third contractor to come in and give her a quote. I said, well, just let them know that you're having a hard time getting a third quote,
Yeah.
and then maybe.
It's been a problem with everybody for
Yeah.
torches. 318 South just came in, gave an application. That was a roof.
That was a roof on a two-family, so.
And Ball Mountain Road, I don't remember the number, the elderly woman. I gave her an application, talked to her, and that's as far as it went.
Oh, yeah.
And like a lot of growth and
Ooh.
some other stuff.
That reminded me, yeah, 'cause we were waiting to do something with that. But they never came back?
No.
Okay. And then 183 Maple, did he ever come in?
I think I talked to him, but probably, I'd have to check, I probably sent him a packet application.
Maple Ave,
What was the number?
183. That was the one the front porch was falling off? And,
Right across from Sporty's?
yeah. Kim Rary's was the first one, and
And
then...
then her, was Cohen in on that one?
Maple Street.
Is that Maple Street? Maple Street.
Yeah, they gotta get 3 quotes right.
I mean, really, nobody could think of another name?
They don't.
Instead of Maple Street, Maple Ave, couldn't come up with? Maple 10?
That's a hard one. I think if it went too long, we could cover right in our file, we can't find a third contract. They're working on it.
Any more?
That's all,
Great. Anything else? Can take a motion to adjourn?
Did you do old?
What's that?
Old business.
Old business. Thank you for reminding me. Is there any old business by committee members?
Can we talk about homeless?
Sure. Oh, that's right, the homeless. We're getting, there's a gentleman that came into my office one day, and he had several areas. One was at the end of North Main Street, where that left that is a dead end, and runs up to the factories. They're back there.
Gavlik's
Railroad.
property.
Yeah, Gavlik's property. There's a homeless encampment there. There's one behind Lincoln Street, behind the Sunoco gas station. There's one there. And I've been asked to clear out a couple. We've done it a couple already. One behind Summer Street.
Center Street.
Center Street.
Railroad tracks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Behind Betsy's car wash.
what's that?
Behind the car wash
Car
on
wash,
High
right?
Street. Yeah.
There's another one up at Birdie's Pond. They're all over. So basically what I wanted to bring, since everybody's in the room, kind of like our hoarding task force, how we have a team approach. We have a team, not comprised of, you guys are like first responders, the complaints coming to you. If they come to community services prior to just going in and clearing everything out, there's a team, there's past outreach workers. It's coordinated through what's called Central Connecticut Coordinated Access Network, which is referred to as the CAN. It's operated through 211. So we have a catchment area. We have meetings on a monthly basis. It's a statewide initiative to get rid of and end homelessness permanently. So they have outreach workers that come through. They walk with either a plainclothes police officer along with the person that we hired. Some of this was kind of on my shoulders a couple of years ago. So they looked for grant monies and hired a part-time housing coordinator. She's since also been hired as a part-time navigator through St. Vincent's Paul. So that whole coordinated access network has, kind of as our hoarding task force has, like a big plan and protocol on how to handle getting homeless in off the streets, getting an intake process done, addressing any mental health issues, getting them medical care, and then they're working off a housing first model. So rapid rehousing has now become what's working through St. Vincent de Paul. Many of you know they closed out half of their shelter and they only have so many rooms available.
They're no longer the transitional shelter where you can stay there for 6 months up to 2 years. So for homeless, bottom line is, if it comes into any of your departments, if we can do that one extra step of referring it to my department, I'll get it through to the hands and to the people that are doing the outreach, and we can get, within 24 hours, they'll get somebody out there inspecting where the complaint has come from and see if they can actually find the people. Because the catch-22 is if you get the report and somebody goes in and cleans out everything, they're just going to set us somewhere else. So it's a vicious cycle of, you know,
Right.
okay, they're kicked out of
And
here.
that's what
but
we
they
find,
know-
we have to keep cleaning up these areas.
And you've gone and moved tents and you know, 2 miles down the road there.
Riverside
There they
Avenue.
Right.
They moved it.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll rain and people will take their tents out to dry, so now you can see them and they're near the road.
Yeah.
And then they go to put them back up in the woods, and it's an issue that is widely known throughout the state, and there's a rather large initiative to end homelessness. So just to give everybody the heads up on, we do have a team of people that we can go to for that.
Does that person have those two sites then? No?
If you want to forward me the list of what
Yeah.
you're aware of, I'll make sure that she's
All right.
gone through, because they go out probably 3 times a week to do outreach. So they're pretty active as far as, you know, and that's just for Bristol. And we've just received a dedicated representative through CHR, which is the corporation that just received Department of Housing funding to do the rapid rehousing. Rapid rehousing is supposed to be limiting your time in the shelter. So if you get into the shelter, you have no other natural resources. Rapid rehousing is supposed to get you an apartment. It doesn't necessarily have to be in Bristol. It's supposed to just get you into an apartment and go with that housing first model. But if you want to send me a list,
All right.
if those things can get just funneled through, then maybe we can kind of, for the people who want to come in and who want help, we can at least help them.
And then we're going to have the problem with 38 Prospect of cleaning it up after. The people who own the property would be the ones responsible for the bill. I don't know how else to do that. So, because they leave quite a mess when they're not need homeless. Homeless people are need people. So, to deal with that at some point, but they're not.
I think that's a difficult situation there if you're going to clean it up.
Yeah.
I know in Rockwell Park, there's people living up there, in case that's a disaster probably, on railroad property.
Yeah.
Build a railroad, they're never going to pay.
Right.
So you can't lean the property out or anything, so it's you're kind of put in a sticky situation. Clean it up or leave it, so.
Yeah. If there's, like, these 2 sites, there's owners. There's property where there's owners. So you can say that, they're responsible for it, even though they didn't get permission for the people who live there. And that's their argument is, well, we didn't want them there. We called the police when they came. But
Rich, is that the trespassing issue? Like, Gavin, it's all fenced in.
Yeah.
You're still living there, so.
You go over there and tell them to leave, they don't leave, it's trespassing.
You do have property owners, and I know this from one property owner who says, here's a piece of beer, keep it on my property. They may get fed up after a while and say, oh, now it's trash and leave, but they also say, here, take, make sure.
Well, on the property or
Well,
on the state, or it's not trespassing.
Well, that's what I'm saying, so that's where I think.
And it's very
there's a-
rare that we
there's a
arrest them
line.
for trespassing. Usually people leave, they issue them a ticket. It's not really going to do anybody any good.
what I've been doing is hanging my hat on, it's not an approved dwelling unit. There's a certificate of occupancy for it, so it's unsafe for them to live, out in the tree.
Our option is arrest or stay. We don't very many options. Most of the time they would go on, but they're on the road somewhere else.
If they get a case of beer or go in there and keep an eye on the property, does that make them a tenant legally, but being invited?
Well, they're on the property legally, they're invited. I don't know about them.
I don't think they could get arrested for trespassing
No.
if the owner knows
No,
about
if
it.
you
and gives
invite
them
them on the
beer.
property.
And I'm only pointing that out because I think it needs to be addressed with the owners so that they are aware this is what's happening. If you've
They're
asked
going to
them
be
leave.
responsible for the
Right.
cost of cleanup.
Yeah. Well, all of it goes through 211. I mean, if anyone in this room gets any information and you end up coming across a homeless person, 211 is the system that now everything is funneled through for homeless. You go through 211, they have their IVR, you press option 3 for housing, and that's where you get an intake appointment with one of these duty services coordinators who's going to get you through to the housing programs that are all set up. But we do have that extra task force of, you know, the people that go out, the path workers that go out for outreach. And the problem with a lot of the homeless people right now is that we're seeing it's not just homelessness or low income or poverty, it's medical. There's a lot of mental health issues. So arresting someone really just adds that extra and complicates their whole entire scenario. So if we could, by any means, they're not a danger to themselves or others, if we can get them the help that they need and circle them through that social service, then hopefully we can prevent them from being back out on the street. So just wanted to bring that to the table.
Thank you.
And for our boarding task force people that are in the room, I don't know if Antonia or somebody's talking about us, but I've had a couple of requests to share our protocol. So they're like, we're looking to set up a task force. We heard that you guys have something going on. Pretty great. Yeah, we're pretty great. So I just wrote back that we have the code enforcement once a month and that everybody's present and we do it on a case-by-case basis. Kind of just shared a little bit of, you know, how it's a coordinated effort.
Didn't Antonia come to our
They did. That's what I'm saying. Maybe they were talking about us. But
They were on TV.
They were?
Now they adopted this. They're being aggressive.
Wow. All right, anything else? That covers old business. Seasonal update, tall grass graffiti, it's there. That's the update. And we're dealing with it.
Being removed on a case by case. Get along more.
So anything else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor? Thank you.